Welcome to Bourbon School. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Brian.
And Brian, I'm back from the blizzard. The blizzard of 2022. I got back a couple of days ago and I'm ready to get warm and try some higher proof bourbons.
Absolutely. So if you watched our Gateway Bourbon video and enjoyed some of those, it's time to step it up to 90 proof bourbons coming up next. All right, let's start with number one.
Number one.
And these are all 90 proof or higher, a little bit higher.
Okay. I like this one. It's sweet.
It is. It's like got a honey flavor to it. I like it.
Yeah. Goes down easy.
Yeah.
Number two.
Whoa.
It's got a burn.
It's got a burn and it's kind of bitter. I don't know if it's just because we just tasted a very sweet one. This one seems very bitter.
It cleared my nasal passages a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad.
All right, let's hit number three. You are not playing.
I like this one.
Bam.
Number four.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's got
smells pretty strong already.
Yeah, it's got a nice sweet caramel smell to it. I think I'm gonna like this one.
Oh, that's got some good flavor to it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All right.
Number five.
Finally, number five.
This is a little darker than the
It
others.
is. It's noticeably darker, yeah.
This has a bold flavor to it.
It really does.
Hits you right away.
It reminds me a lot of number two. Like there's a little more bitterness in this one.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can't really pick on it. I mean, we are pretty, how do I say it, amateur palates. So I'm not going to pick out a bunch of weird flavors. But no, really, I'm not getting anything familiar out of this. It's decent, but it's just kind of there.
Right. I mean, unlike our first video where we had really some bad ones in there, so far I'd say there's only one in here that I don't love too much.
Okay, the results are in. We've ranked our 5 bourbons that we tasted here. We've been told by our lovely producer what they are. So we're going to go through and let you know what our rankings were. But before that, there's an obvious one that we did not include here. And that's this guy right here, Buffalo Trace. And everybody loves Buffalo Trace. It's a 90 proof bourbon. It's pretty reasonable if you can find it.
I grabbed it off the shelf back here just to, pregame a little bit.
Absolutely.
It was so good. It was so smooth. It was delicious.
Yes.
I was like, I just picked that randomly too.
Right. And
you can't go wrong with any of these.
Not really, you can't. The deal with Buffalo Trace is it's not easy to find. It's kind of spotty. Now, we have a couple of stores up north of us where I can find it pretty much anytime I want, but then there's other times, nowhere. And for months, And here in our little town, both liquor stores used to just have it on the shelves. And then a couple of years ago, poof. So like we kind of said when we started this channel, we don't want to go after stuff that's hard to find. And you might find that around you. And if you can find it easily, it's a great...
Snap it up,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great one in this category. But for us, it's become harder to find in our area, and I know that other people have that same problem, so we didn't include this one. But it is definitely a good pick if it's available to you.
Yeah. So all the ones that we ranked that we're going to present next are ones that are easier to find.
Absolutely. You should not have a problem finding any of these in any liquor store where you go. So let's start with our number 5.
Number 5 at the bottom, Woodford Reserve.
Okay. This was very surprising to me.
I know.
I am a Woodford Reserve fan usually. And when we went years ago, me and some of the fellas went on the Bourbon Trail, and it was my favorite place to go. It was it was a really cool distillery. And what was cool about it at the time is all they made was that right there. So it was like this big area where it was just all we make is Woodford Reserve, and it was really cool. Like that was their focus, and it was really great. And I've been a fan. But what did you think about this one?
It had a very bold taste to it, but we both agreed it was a little bit bitter. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, not our favorite.
And I think it suffered a little bit from tasting kind of a sweeter one before it, but we rank them how we rank them. So number 5 is Woodford Reserve.
Right, and we should note too that all of these we really liked.
Yes, absolutely.
Like you said on like the last video.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So
all right.
Next pick.
Number 4.
Elijah Craig
small batch. And this one is about $30 a bottle you can find it for. You will find it everywhere. It is very, very easy to find. And it was decent. Like, I can't say there was anything about it that I was like, oh, this is bad.
It had a little bit of a burn to it. It just wasn't as good as the other ones.
Absolutely. And it is the highest proof of the 5 that we're doing. So that would stand to reason. It's a little bit more of a burn. I thought it had a nice sweetness to it as well. I could easily drink that, and I don't think anybody would be upset if you offered that to them. But compared to some of the other ones, it just ranked a little bit lower.
Yeah, cleared my nasal passages. All right, so our number 3 pick, 1792. That was a very good year, wasn't it?
I
what
guess.
Happened that year?
I don't know. They made this bourbon. You figure as history teachers we would know this. 1792 small batch. It was nice.
It was. This is the first one we tried. It was so sweet.
Yes.
That was but it was good.
Yes.
I liked it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the thing I said when we drank it was, it tasted like, I tasted kind of a honey sweetness to it. I actually thought it was going to be the Elijah Craig. But it was good. I think this one was the sweetest of the 5 we tried.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like a lot. So, and we did have a couple other that we said were sweet and definitely contrasted with the one we drank next, and you could tell it was a lot sweeter, but this one was definitely the sweetest. It might be a very good one to give somebody kind of the next step, because it's a 90-ish proof, but it has some sweetness, not a lot of burn, so it'd probably be real pleasing to somebody who you wanted to kind of get into that next level of 90 proofers. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. How about number 2?
Number 2, we have Four Roses small batch.
And this is one of your favorites.
I like Four Roses, yes. And I when we were guessing, I didn't rank it as high as I wanted it to be, but it went down easy. It was very good.
You wanted it to be number 1.
Solid. Yeah.
You were just hoping for it. No, it was good. I'm actually surprised, especially if you go back to our 80 proof video, our Gateway Bourbons video. We really did not like the Four Roses yellow label.
I know, that's why I was very surprised it ranked so highly this time.
And
that goes to show you, though, just the variation in the product.
Absolutely. It's surprising how much better this is in the yellow label. And it's about 30. I think we got this one for $38 at the local store here.
Was that the cheapest one?
It was not. The Elijah Craig and the 1792 were $30.
Okay. So, but it was middle range.
Right.
I mean, that's not too bad.
And I will also tell you that where we are, in our state, things are always a little bit more. I see people online who are getting this for, $3, $4, $5 less than that. So you can find it cheaper. Where we are, it was $38. So still a pretty good value, and it wasn't the most expensive one. The most expensive one was actually the Woodford, which was our least ranked one. That was $40 for the bottle. Yeah, I know. It's really, it was very surprising. But all right, so let's get to it. Our number 1.
Number 1.
So this would be what we would say would be the pick to give to somebody who's like ready for that next step. They've tried the Old Forester 86.
Yep. You've gotten them acclimated to bourbon flavors.
That's right.
Yes.
Now you're ready to like get them to the next level. So here it comes.
Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark. Just plain old Maker's Mark. Doesn't have to be the 46.
Nothing special.
No. And the only thing I was surprised about is that my number 1 wasn't Woodford, but I am not totally floored that I liked Maker's Mark.
Why?
It's because I think it's a good bourbon. I thought going in that I would automatically just go with the Woodford, but this probably, if I was going to rank them without tasting them, you asked me what did I like, I probably would rank that second behind Woodford. So it's not surprising that in our blind tasting, it's up there.
Maker's Mark for me is always consistent. Anything I've tasted, I really like. So I wasn't surprised this was number one. It had full flavor. Color was beautiful. It was very good.
Yes. And I said sweet, not as sweet as number one. I don't think it was as sweet as the 1792. No. But it still had a very nice sweetness. Now, this is a wheated bourbon, so it's a little bit different than the other ones that we drank. A lot of people that you'll see on YouTube will talk about it being softer, and this is actually the first time I kind of got that sense. Like it was
gentle.
Yes, it really was. Like so, and that's something like where somebody's like, "This is a softer bourbon." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." But this, I really found that to be the case. It was really nice. It went down very nicely, and I don't think anybody would be disappointed if you gave that to them as kind of like, okay, let me get you to the next step in your kind of bourbon tasting. This is a really good one to get them with. And this one, again...
How much was it, Brian?
This one was $35, and it's 90 proof. So it's right at the number. It's right at 90. It's perfect. You know, it's going to step up a little bit from that old Forester 86 or that old Granddad at 80. And I think it'll really get people kind of moving in the direction of maybe... Give me something else. Give me more. This
on the ladder. We're working up the ladder.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We want to hear from you. Comment below with your take on our picks.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Stay tuned for our future videos.
We're going to mix up a batch of Old Forester 1915. And we're also going to take a look at the next level of bourbons at the 100 and 101 proof level.
All right. And to that, Brian, cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Bourbon School. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Brian.
And here...
that was